This record has been suggested as a supplement to the book, The Search for Bridey Murphy, by a number of people who heard the tape recordings which are printed as a part of the text. The Search for Bridey Murphy is the true story of a skeptical young businessman who learned, much to his surprise, that the wonders of hypnosis are very real indeed. As a result, he first became interested in medical hypnosis. Later, the author used hypnosis as a possible tool to explore the phenomena of extrasensory perception, that is, telepathy and clairvoyance. Finally, he used hypnosis as a window into the past. He experimented, in short, with a technique known to the experts as hypnotic age regression. The term age regression refers to directing a hypnotized person to recall events which took place in the past, even to the extent of remembering events which occurred in infancy. Although these hypnotic age regressions are conducted every day by psychiatrists and psychologists, very few laymen have had a chance to hear actual recordings of such experiments. Consequently, people familiar with the original research urge that at least a portion of one of these ordinary age regressions should be made available. Furthermore, they considered especially advisable the inclusion of a major portion of the first Bridey Murphy experiment, which is described in the book. In this instance, printed words alone cannot adequately express the quality which characterizes the vocal expression of the hypnotized subject. Accordingly, actual selections from the tape recording appear to be indispensable. The book itself sets forth in detail the technique which was employed to place the subject in a deep hypnotic trance. So recording time will not here be consumed for that purpose. Let us therefore pick up the tape recording at a point after the subject is already in a deep trance. Keep in mind that while the memory of the hypnotized subject can turn back to infancy, the voice and the mentality can be kept at the adult level. This is known as the recall type of regression. Everything you hear on this record, with the exception of my own commentary, which will be interspersed throughout the record, was taken from a single trance session, the first Bridey Murphy experiment. Recordings of later experiments are also available. The time is November 29th, 1952, 10:35 p.m. The subject of this hypnotic experiment is Mrs. Ruth Simmons, age 29. The hypnotist is Maury Bernstein, whose voice you will hear next as he gives instructions to his entranced subject.
Deep asleep, deeper and deeper asleep, deeper and deeper asleep. Now we're going to turn back. We're going to turn back through time and space, just like turning back in the pages of a book. And when I next talk to you, you will be 7 years old, and you will be able to answer my questions. When I talk to you next, you will be 7 years old, and you can answer my questions. Now you're 7 years old. Do you go to school?
Yes.
All right. Who sits in front of you?
Jacqueline.
And who sits behind you?
In front of me.
Do you know any boys in the class?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any nice boys that you like?
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of one?
Donald.
And what is your favorite study? What is your favorite subject?
Reading.
Can you read well? Are you a good reader?
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
All right. Now rest and relax. We're going to turn even farther back through space and time. We're going back now to the time when you were 5 years old. We're going back to the time when you were 5 years old. When I talk to you again, you'll be just 5 years old. Now you are 5 years old. And you can answer my questions. Do you go to school?
Yes.
What grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
All right. Who sits in front of you?
No one.
Why is that?
Instead of long tables, and nobody sits in front of me.
Who sits on your left?
Violet.
And who sits on your right?
David.
All right. What is your favorite game?
Hopscotch.
Who is your best friend?
Jacqueline.
All right. What is your favorite toy?
Bubbles.
All right.
Doll. Doll.
Oh, I see. Bubbles is a doll. I see. What is your favorite dress? Do you have any dress that you like better than the others? Which one is it?
It's a black velvet one. It has little tiny bows on the pockets. Black velvet dress. Big pockets I could put my hands in with bows on it.
I interrupt here in order to clarify 2 points. First, it should be repeated that this is the recall type of regression, during which the subject's voice changes to some extent, but in general remains at the adult level. This is the voice of a 29-year-old woman who, under hypnosis, is remembering, not reliving, events which took place in infancy. Second, it should be kept in mind that the tape recording which you are hearing was not recorded in a sound studio with professional equipment. It was made rather with an ordinary home recorder. The sound quality, therefore, is below professional standards. One result, for example, is the exaggeration of the subject's breathing. Whenever the microphone was placed directly in front of her mouth, her breath against the microphone exaggerated the sound of breathing. Now, to return to the hypnotic experiment.
All right. All right. Now rest and relax, because you're going still farther back in space and time. When I talk to you again, you will be 3 years old. You will be 3 years old. Now you're 3 years old. Now, do you go to school?
No.
You do not go to school. All right. Do you have any dolls?
One little colored doll.
Do you know what it looks like?
Tell
me what it looks like.
It's colored, like a colored baby. It has black hair painted on its head, and it has a green and white polka dot dress, no shoes, and a diaper. It's dirty. Didn't wash the diaper, and nobody washed it.
That's very good.
Dirty.
Do you have any playmates?
Just my sister.
What church do you go to?
No church.
All right, now I'm going to talk to you again in a few moments. The next time I talk to you, you will be only 1 year old. Now you're 1 year old and you can answer my questions. Now, how old are you?
1.
Do you have any toys?
Some blocks. And a cotton dolly that I tore her dress and sucked on her, got her all dry and funny looking.
What is her name?
Just baby.
What do you say when you want a drink of water?
Well.
What do you say when you want a glass of milk?
Can't say that.
It was at this point that the hypnotist made the decision to take his subject over the hump. He decided, that is, to find out whether Ruth Simmons, in deep hypnosis, might possibly be conscious of events which had taken place even before her birth. As a preliminary step just prior to the prenatal regression, the subject was once more directed to see scenes which had taken place in infancy. The hypnotist asked her to recall some scene which had taken place at the age of 6, then at the age of 5, and then at 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now to continue with the tape recording.
I want you to keep on going back and back and back in your mind. And surprising as it may seem, strange as it may seem, you will find that there are other scenes in your memory. There are other scenes from faraway lands and distant places in your memory. I will talk to you again. I will talk to you again in a little while. I will talk to you again in a little while. Meanwhile, your mind will be going back, 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 and back until it picks up a scene, until oddly enough you find yourself in some other scene, in some other place, in some other time. And when I talk to you again, you will tell me about it. You will be able to talk to me about it and answer my questions. And now just rest and relax while these scenes come into your mind. Now you're going to tell me what scenes came into your mind. What did you see? What did you see?
Oh, scratched the paint off my bed. Just painted it and made it pretty. It was a metal bed, and I scratched the paint off of it. Dug my nails on every post and just ruined it. It's just terrible.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I was just mad. An awful spanking.
What is your name?
Bridey.
Your name is what?
Bridey.
Don't you have any other name?
Bridey Murphy.
And where do you live?
I live in Cork. Cork.
Is that where you live?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the name of your mother?
Kathleen.
And what is the name of your father?
Duncan. Duncan Murphy.
How old are you?
4. 4 years old.
And you scratched the paint off your metal bed?
Yes. Scratched the paint off.
All right. Now see if you can see yourself a little older. See if you can see yourself when you're 5, or 6, or 7, or see yourself when you're an older girl. Are you a girl or are you a boy?
A girl.
All right. Do you see yourself when you are older?
Yes, I do.
What are you doing now?
Playing house. Playing with my brother.
What is your brother's name?
Duncan.
What is your father's name?
Duncan.
I see. How old are you when you're playing house with your brother?
8.
What is the name of the country in which you live?
It's Ireland.
I see. Do you have any other brothers or sisters?
One brother died.
What did he die from?
He was sick. Had some kind of black something. Black something, I don't know.
How old were you when he died?
We're 4. Just 4. He was just a baby.
I see. Do you have any sisters?
No.
Do you know how old your brother was when he died?
No. Just another. Not one. Yet. I don't know.
Now that you are 8 years old, do you know what year it is?
Well,
You don't know what year it is.
18 something. 1806.
1806?
Mm-hmm.
Where does your father work? Where does your father work?
It's a barrister. Downtown, a barrister. Town in the village.
What town?
And Cork. In Cork.
All right. You say he goes downtown and what?
There's a barrister.
Uh-huh.
He's a smart man.
What games do you play?
Play hide and seek. Look and Duncan finds me.
Duncan finds you.
Can't find Duncan. He knows better places than me to hide.
Now tell me about your father. Is he a tall man or a short man?
He's tall.
What color hair?
Sort of reddish like mine.
Your hair is red.
Mm-hmm. Real red.
I interrupt here to explain that Ruth Simmons does not have red hair. She is a brunette.
And what is your name?
Bridey.
Why did they name you Friday?
Bridey.
I see, Bridey. Why did they name you that?
It was named me after my grandmother, Bridget.
Oh.
Bridey.
I see. All right. Now tell me about your mother. Is she a big woman or a little woman?
It's medium, she is.
What color hair?
Black.
Tall or short?
She's just medium.
And what is her name?
Kathleen.
All right. Now see if you can see yourself when you're a little older. Get older than 8. See if you can see yourself growing up. See if you can see yourself growing up. See if you can see yourself when you were about 15 years old. Can you do that?
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a job about the time you're 15 years old? Are you working any place?
No.
You stay at home?
Oh, I go to Miss Dreen's day school. I stay away from home all week.
Oh, you're going to school.
Mm-hmm.
What are you studying?
Oh, to be a lady. Just house things and proper things.
I see. Do you ever get married?
Yes.
What is the name of the man you marry?
Brian,
Is that his first name or last name?
first name.
And what is his last name?
McCarthy.
All right. What does he do?
His father's a barrister, too. And he goes to school when we get married. And he goes to school at Belfast.
Mm-hmm. And is the marriage a happy one?
Yes.
And you don't have any fights?
Oh, some. Well, mostly just little fights.
But you like Brian.
Oh, yes.
Do you have any children?
No.
You never have any children?
No. No children.
See. Do you always live in Cork?
No. Go to Belfast.
You go to Belfast.
Mm-hmm. Brian goes to school in Belfast.
Well, after
And his parents live in Cork, but his grandmother lives in Belfast, and we live in a cottage in the back of her house while he goes to school.
Do you like Belfast as well as Cork?
No.
Do you have any friends in Belfast?
Yes.
What are their names?
Has a Mary Catherine and her husband. His name is Kevin.
And
We have children, and we love to go over there.
And what church do you go to?
I go to St. Teresa's.
St. Teresa's.
Uh-huh. In Belfast.
Uh-huh. What is the name of the priest? What is the name of the father?
Father John. Father John.
Although the questioning had hardly begun, the witnesses present at the hypnotic experiment were already stunned by the response of this 29-year-old housewife, who was definitely not theatrical and who has never been out of this country. Moreover, the subject's expression was not the mechanical kind which would mark the testimony of one who was either making up or repeating a story. The spontaneous character of her response and her obvious association of ideas indicate real reflection upon personal memories and actual experience. On the other side of the record, the hypnotist continues to question his subject. As we again pick up the recording, it should be kept in mind that both sides of this record are taken from a single hypnotic session, the first Bridey-Murphy experiment. Now to continue with the tape recording.
What are some Irish words? What are some Irish words?
Oh, you want to know? It's Colleen, and I try to think of the word for the ghost. What do we call a ghost? Oh, I think Mother sucks. Oh, there's a Sean. Oh, a Braid.
What's that word?
Braid.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's a little cup that you drink out of, and you wish on it. Very, very Irish, you know. It's just something we think about all the time. Wish on it. Drink and just wish on a Braid. Oh, I can't think.
Are there any prayers, Irish prayers, with Irish words?
What did he say? We always say the prayers from the Bible just at our house.
Can you say any of them now? Say any one prayer now?
Say the prayer we say for our meal. Bless this house and all the weather. Keep it gay and springy hither. Bless the children. Bless the food. Keep us happy, bright, and good. That's before we eat.
All right. Now, is there anything else that you can tell us about Irish customs or traditions in Ireland that you would like to tell us about? Have you ever been to a wake?
Oh, yes, been to the wake before the funeral. Oh, with Brian, his uncle, and they all stay up, and they're all very unhappy. It's always the day before, you see. There's always the day before they take them to ditch them in the grounds, and they always sit around and weep and drink tea, little biscuits, and everybody's unhappy. And the next day they ditch them.
What do you mean, ditch them?
Puts them in the ground for good.
At this stage, it will be noted that the subject has begun to talk with a slight brogue. Furthermore, as the experiment progresses, her Irish lilt becomes even more distinct as she drifts more and more into the identity of Bridey. And during a later experiment, When a different technique was employed, her brogue became very pronounced. Now, back to the experiment.
Are there any other Irish customs or traditions that you can tell us about?
Oh, dance when you're married.
What do they call it?
Oh, it's just a Irish jig thing. You dance and they put money in your pockets. The bride. It's a party. And everybody gives their money, and that way you have gifts, you see. It's just people that wouldn't send you other gifts.
All right, is there anything else at all that you'd like to tell us about Ireland?
It's beautiful.
All right, now see yourself in that lifetime, and see yourself up to the time of your death. And tell me as an observer, so that it won't disturb you, tell me how you died.
Fell down on the stairs, and seems I broke some bones in my hip too, and that was a terrible burden.
Were you old?
66.
How did you finally die?
Oh, just sort of withered away.
You didn't want to live?
No, it was such a burden. Had to be carried about.
Was Brian still alive?
Yes, he was there.
Did he take good care of you?
Yes. I was so tired all the time, though.
He was?
Yes.
In what city were you living when you died?
Belfast.
Do you remember the day you died?
Mm-hmm. It was on a Sunday.
You remember it?
Yes, Brian was to church, and it upset him terribly. He wasn't there. And he left me and deserted me. But I didn't think I was going that fast. And the lady came to stay with me so he could go to church. And I died.
Here, the subject's answer brought about an entirely unexpected turn in the questioning. Up to this point, the hypnotist had not intended to ask the subject whether she had been conscious of any events which took place after her death. But now such a question seemed necessary. Bridey said that Brian had been upset because he had not been present at the scene of her death. But if Brian had not been there, then how could Bridey have known that he had been upset after her death? There was only one possibility. If Bridey had somehow been conscious of what had taken place after her death, then her comment would be understandable. The hypnotist decided, therefore, to pursue this point. Now, back to the questioning.
How old were you?
I was 66.
Were you in pain when you died?
No,
You were
just
not.
tired.
I see, just tired. You wanted to die.
Yes.
Did you believe that you would live after death?
Yes.
Can you tell us what happened after your death? Can you tell us what happened after you died?
I stayed right in that house.
I see. Well, when Brian died, did he join you?
No.
He didn't?
No. Didn't see. Watched him lots of times until Father John died, and then I left the house.
Oh, I see. When Father John died, you left the house.
Yes.
But you stayed in the house until Father John died.
Yes, he came to visit with Brian, and I stayed.
All right. When you left the house, where did you go?
I went home to Cork, and I saw my brother.
Which brother?
Duncan. And he was still alive. It's so old.
He was still alive?
Yes?
And you stayed in the house there?
Yes, I stayed in Duncan's house.
Did you ever let Duncan know that you were there?
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't answer me.
How did you try to speak to him?
I would sit in the bed and talk. And he would never see me.
He would never see you. Well, did he finally die?
Yes, he died.
And then did he join you?
No. There's lots of people there I didn't know.
Lots of people there you didn't know.
Yes, but I didn't see everybody I knew. Saw Father John, I saw. And I saw my old brother that died, too.
Oh, you saw him?
Yes.
Did he talk to you?
Yes, he talked to me, but he didn't know I had to tell him. I knew who he was.
Oh, he didn't know.
No.
Then did he recognize you?
Yes, he said he just remembered me. Some things about me, but he didn't remember anything about my mother or the house. Or he remembered some things about Duncan, too. And Duncan would push him off the little cradle side and tip it over and he would fall. And he remembered some things.
What was it like? Did you like where you were?
Yes.
Was it better than your life on Earth?
No.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't full enough. It wasn't. Just couldn't do all the things. I couldn't accomplish anything and couldn't talk to anybody very long. We'd go away. Stay very long.
Did you ever have any pain?
No.
No pain. I see. Did you ever have to eat anything?
No.
You never had to eat?
No. Never ate. Never sleep. Never sleep. Never get tired there.
Well, tell me how you finally left that world.
Well, I left there and I was born and I lived in America.
Do you remember how you became born again? Do you remember how it was possible for you to be born again? Tell us about that.
That's just, I don't know how it happens, but I just remember suddenly I wasn't just a state, I was a baby.
Did anybody select the body that you inhabited? Did anybody select the body?
I don't know, but...
How did you know what body? How did you know what country to go to? How did you know all those things? Who took care of all those details?
Just seems like it just happened. You just don't remember, and you remember those things, and then all of a sudden, I remember just being a baby again.
Well, could any of the people in that spirit world, talk to any of the people on the earth?
Don't know.
You never saw it happen?
No. Never saw them try. Lots of people wanted to talk to people, and they just wouldn't.
You lived in Ireland, and you married Brian McCarthy. You died when you were 66 years old, and then you spent a long time in the spirit world, and then you were born in America. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Now that it was time to end the session, the hypnotist told the subject that she would now return to the present time and place. He also explained that he would count to 5, and at the count of 5, she would awaken and feel fine. So that you may hear the subject's natural voice, the next excerpt is taken from a later tape as the subject is awakened by the hypnotist.
Number 5. You're completely relaxed and feel fine. Number 5. Now you can awaken and feel fine.
Oh, dear. Did you have something on you?
Yeah, this cloth. You might want to. Feel all right? Tell me what you remember about it. What do you remember about the whole session?
I don't remember anything. Am I supposed to remember something?
And so began the search for Bridey Murphy.